Welcome to another Howls and Growls post-game breakdown. Today we're going to talk about how the Sacramento Kings executed Minnesota to death in the final quarter of their matchup. The night started with fireworks from the Kings. They were moving the defense around and making everything they threw up from three in the first half. But after a few runs from Minnesota, they slowed the game down in the final quarter and went to one play over and over again to win this game. It's rare to see a team run the same action almost every time down the floor, but the Kings were executing it so well and the Timberwolves couldn't find a way to stop it. So let's break it down. The play is very simple on the surface. The Kings are going to come and set this double ball screen, but they're going to set it really high and they're going to aim to jam this point of attack defender in between them. And they're going to re-screen it straight away if the defender slips through the gap. And this is where they want Minnesota. Conley is chasing Fox here. Now Towns has to guard two players, and Reed can't help because of the shooter just here. In the end, Towns gets caught in no man's land, and it's going to be an easy lob finish for McGee. So Sacramento are just going to keep going back to this and seeing if Minnesota can handle it. Towns is pointing to Conley on this one to alert him of which way Fox is coming. The screen still bumps Conley off, and now Fox is just going to attack downhill. They do get the miss, but now Conley is trying to stop McGee from getting a rebound because he switched. That's not going to happen, and Sacramento get the putback bucket. The Kings are just putting Fox at the controls and letting him puppeteer this whole offense. They trust him to make the right decision, and they know Minnesota can't figure this out. This time he goes left. Now Naz Reid contains him, which he needs to, but right here he's worried about his man at the top. He hesitates. That allows Fox to zip past him, and now he's finishing a tough layup over Towns' outstretched arm. We're just going to keep rewinding this back and trying again. Now Gobert is in the game to try and clean some of this up, but it's not going to work. Conley gets a little shove on the screen, he goes to ground, and this is panic stations. Gobert now has to deal with Fox coming at him downhill, but he's also got Sabonis leaking behind him. In the end, he chooses to stop his direct man from getting an easy layup, which is the percentage play, but Fox isn't going to miss many wide open jumpers from there. This time it's Troy Brown Jr. at the point of attack, and finally the Timberwolves just concede to switch the ball screen that Fox comes off. That allows them to get to this position where all three options are manned up and they're not chasing their tails. But Brown overcommits on the gap help, gives up a lane, and Gobert is too worried about Sabonis again to step up here and take away that layup. This next possession, Fox is going to turn on the Jets. He splits the action with the dribble, and I actually think Brown getting this rear view contest up and making Fox make a tough shot in traffic is the best Minnesota has done so far. Still, they give up an offensive rebound and don't end the possession properly. Switching things did lighten the load a little for the Wolves. You see Naz Reid and Troy Brown switch the screen that Fox comes off, and Gobert stays with Sabonis. Brown is a little slow recognizing it, but he's able to veer back and contest the shot with Gobert in that area as well. That's the first true miss we've seen that didn't have an offensive rebound following it. But an empty possession won't deter the Kings. Now Edwards is on the ball and they're not switching this time. Gobert still doesn't want to step up and get burnt on the backside by Sabonis or at the top by Lyles, but Edwards' speed does allow him to recover better and fly in to contest this pull-up three. The double hand push gets Sabonis aboard, but the Wolves do get a stop, and that's another successful possession in relative terms at least. Now to me, this is the best plan of attack, but maybe not the best execution. Instead of switching or playing straight up, they're going to hedge, recover, and switch. That means Towns is going to stunt at Fox here, which allows Edwards to get through the action and back in front, while Gobert sprints out here to stop Harrison Barnes' three-point shot. Where it goes wrong is Towns gets lost in the shuffle. When Gobert flies by, Towns has to step up here and take away the floater because Brown has already pre-rotated and taken away Sabonis. He's a step slow in doing so, and Barnes walks into another easy floater. I hope this isn't getting too boring because the Kings certainly didn't get bored of running these high double screens. You can see how this hedge and recover method can work here. Towns is hedging again, which means Edwards can get through the screens, and even with this smart little brush screen here from Sabonis, Ant can force a contested leaning floater. But because everything that could go wrong does go wrong in this game, they call a shooting foul, and Sacramento get 3 points. Okay, so maybe it's too little too late, But this is what the Wolves needed all along, someone to actually get through a screen properly. Ant goes around this one just enough. That allows Gobert to stunt properly here while Ant veers in front of Sabonis. That means that Edwards can recover all the way and then actually contest a jumper and force a miss. But in the end, it was too much for Minnesota to deal with while trying to play a perfect game to complete the comeback on the other end. There's all types of ball pressure and holding going on here from both teams. Fox ends up going down, and these 2 free throws kind of just put the game to bed. It was a bad night for the Timberwolves, but it was so intriguing to watch this 4th frame chess match play out from both teams. It'll be worth keeping an eye on in the upcoming games to see if any other teams try to expose Minnesota in this same way. Thanks again for watching Howls and Growls. Please subscribe for more.